Scientists mainly determine the age of dinosaurs mainly by studying their bones. One key method involves looking at growth lines in the bone, much like counting tree rings. These lines are typically formed once a year and can show how many years a dinosaur has lived. However, these lines can be erased as the bone remodels itself over time. So scientists sometimes have to estimate earlier lines using retrocalculation. Other clues include the ones that show when the dinosaur stopped growing, and signs of sexual maturity which can occur before full skeletal maturity. While some dinos like Titanosaurs don't really show clear growth lines, making aging harder for them, scientists use bone structure, remodeling patterns, and comparisons with modern animals to make educated estimates. Anyway, with that intro done, here are the 20 oldest dinosaurs to ever live by lifespan. At 20 we have Daspletosaurus. This dinosaur roamed North America around 77 to 74 million years ago and lived for roughly 20 to 26 years. This Tyrannosaurid was around 30 feet long, with strong legs, tiny arms, and a large head full of bone-crushing teeth. It looked like a slightly smaller, stockier version of T-Rex built for ambushing prey. 19. The Allosaurus. The Allosaurus lived around 155 to 145 million years ago during the late Jurassic period and could live up to 25 to 28 years. Reaching lengths of up to 30 feet, it had a lightweight muscular body with sharp claws and a narrow skull with dozens of serrated teeth. It is an agile predator, a deadly hunter, and hunted sauropods and other dinosaurs. 18. The Albertosaurus. This creature lived in the late Cretaceous around 70 million years ago and had a life expectancy of up to 28 years. It was a lightweight cousin of the T-Rex, measuring around 30 feet in length, with long legs adapted for speed, with a massive skull and small two-fingered arms, and it also likely hunted in groups. Number 17. The Spinosaurus. This one lived approximately 100 to 93 million years ago during the mid-Cretaceous and lived for around 25 to 30 years. Growing over 50 feet long, it was the longest known carnivorous dinosaur, actually the longest living terrestrial predator. It had a crocodile-like snout, a huge sail-like structure on its back, and possibly webbed feet and a paddle-like tail, which makes it adapted for semi-aquatic life. 16. The Giganotosaurus. The Giganotosaurus, or the Giga, lived around 98 million years ago in South America and had a lifespan of 25 to 30 years. One of the largest land predators ever, it stretched around 40 feet long and looked similar to the T-Rex, but with a more elongated skull and a longer set of three-fingered hands. Number 15. The Tyrannosaurus Rex. The T-Rex lived from between 68 to 66 million years ago in the late Cretaceous and could live for over 30 years. Growing up to 40 feet long and 12 feet tall at the hips, it had an enormous head, banana-sized teeth, and incredibly strong jaws. Despite its tiny arms, it was one of the most powerful predators to ever live. 14. The Draconics. The Draconics lived about 150 million years ago in what is now Portugal and had a lifespan of between 30 to 35 years. It was a medium-sized herbivorous dinosaur around 15 to 20 feet long, with a bulky body, strong hind legs, and likely walked on 2 and 4 legs sometimes. It belonged to a group called the Iguanodontians. Now 13 we have the Camarasaurus. This one was a sauropod. The Camarasaurus lived during the late Jurassic around 155 to 145 million years ago and lived around for 40 years. It was a large sauropod reaching about 50 feet in length with a short boxy skull and strong limbs. The Camarasaurus had a more compact build compared to other long-necked dinosaurs. Now heading over to number 12 we have the Apatosaurus, which lived between 152 to 151 million years ago and could live for around 40 years. This iconic long-necked dinosaur reached lengths of up to 70 to 75 feet. It had a massive body, thick legs like tree trunks, and a long whip-like tail. But despite its size, it likely fed on low-lying vegetation. Now number 11 we have the Laparentosaurus. The Laparentosaurus lived in the Middle Jurassic period around 167 million years ago and had a lifespan of about 43 years, 3 years more than the Apatosaurus. It was a sauropod from Madagascar and could grow to over 40 feet long, with a long neck and a tail. Though it is only known from partial remains, it might have looked much like early relatives of the Brachiosaurus. So number 10 we have the Narindasaurus. This one lived in the Middle Jurassic as well, around 167 million years ago, and had a similar lifespan of about 43 years. It was a large herbivorous dinosaur from Madagascar with a long neck and a tail, though it is less well known and still under scientific review. Number 9. The Mamenchisaurus. The Mamenchisaurus lived in the late Jurassic around 160 to 145 million years ago and could live for 45 years. Famous for having an extraordinarily long neck, up to 50% of its body length, it could reach over 80 feet in length. It looked like a classic sauropod but with a neck that went on for like forever. Now at number 8 we have Meraxes gigas. Meraxes gigas, a theropod, is high here in this list. It lived around 95 to 93 million years ago and had a lifespan of about 53 years. It was a massive carnivore from Argentina, around 36 feet long, with short arms like a T-Rex, with a massive skull and an intimidating appearance. It belonged to the same group as the Giganotosaurus. Number 7. The Diplodocus. Diplodocus lived between 154 to 152 million years ago in the late Jurassic and could live for up to 60 years. It grew to 85 feet long or more and had a long slender body with a whip-like tail and a pencil-like neck. It looked like a long neck bridge of muscle and bone moving through the ancient plains. Now at number 6 we have the Triceratops. They lived during the very end of the Cretaceous up to 66 million years ago and had a lifespan of about 60 years. They reached about 30 feet long and had a massive skull with 3 horns and a large crest. They looked more like prehistoric rhinos crossed with tangs. Number 5. The Titanosaurus. The Titanosaurus lived around 70 to 66 million years ago in the late Cretaceous and could live between 40 and 80 years. These sauropods, widespread across South America and India, grew up to 80 to 100 feet long and had stocky bodies with long necks, though not as massive as later titanosaurs like the Patagotitan. So number 4 we have the Ankylosaurus. Yeah, the Ankylosaurus were long-lived. They existed between 68 to 66 million years ago and had a lifespan of between 70 to 80 years. They were around 25 to 30 feet long, covered in bony armor, and had a massive tail club for defense. They looked like a living tank indeed, low to the ground and heavily fortified. Number 3. The Stegosaurus. These creatures, these dinosaurs, lived between 155 to 150 million years ago in the Jurassic period and could live between 75 and 100 years. Yeah, the first centenarians here. They grew up to 30 feet long, with distinctive kite-shaped plates on its back and a spiked tail as thygomizer for defense. They had very small heads, a tiny brain, but a powerful body built for surviving. Number 2. The Brachiosaurus. The Brachiosaurus lived during the late Jurassic, up till 150 million years ago. They could live for up to 100 years or more. They were one of the tallest dinosaurs, reaching up to 80 feet long and 40 feet tall. They had long forelimbs, an upright neck, giving them a giraffe-like posture, ideal for browsing treetops. And number 1. The Supersaurus, actually a specimen called Jumbo. He lived around 153 to 145 million years in the past and is believed to have lived an astonishing 225 years. It was one of the longest dinosaurs ever discovered too, possibly exceeding 110 feet in length, with a slender but extremely massive body, and looked like a giant muscular suspension bridge with legs. That's the longest living dinosaur ever. And we also have a notable mention. While technically not a dinosaur but a marine reptile, a squamate, here we have the Mosasaurus, which existed up to 66 million years ago during the late Cretaceous and had a lifespan of about 40 to 45 years. It was a massive marine reptile, growing up to 50 to 60 feet long. So picture a streamlined crocodile-like predator with powerful tail, flippers and a double hinged jaw filled with sharp teeth, essentially the apex predator of the Cretaceous seas. And so with that we end this video. Now if you like this one, then watch this other one too, the one in the end screens, and do check out our channel. We might have dinosaur content you haven't seen. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, fam.